first things first. When the Mets got Soto last night, I told you it was happening. Steve Cohen wasn't going to be outbid, and now we're hearing stories today and seeing stories be reported just why and how the negotiation went the way it was. The Yankees at the end felt that no matter what they offered, Steve Cohen was going to go higher, so they said, we're done. We're done. Well, you want him for $765 million. You got him, right? So we're hearing that. We're hearing the whole thing with the suite was a big deal, that the Yankees wouldn't give Juan Soto's family a suite at games, and Steve Cohen said, sure, we'll just build more suites. I don't care.
And a parking spot.
But, yeah, sure, you got a parking spot, right?
Got to.
Like George Costanza, got to have that parking spot. This is the weirdest part before I get to a take you don't think you're not going to believe I have on Juan Soto. It's so weird that, I knew this was going to happen. This is the way it was going. And all of a sudden, bam, Juan Soto is my team's identity for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, no, hey, here comes a star, and he comes up, and like a guy like Pete Alonso, it's wham, here's your star. He is your team for the next 15 years.
Or as long as his, wait for it, 26-year-old pause body holds up.
I mean, that's he is the Mets' identity, not Lindor after what happened this past season with the amazing year he had. No, it's all of a sudden Juan Soto is your identity. He's my team's identity now for the next 15 years.
Sucks for you.
It still is weird. Stop, you're just jealous. It still is weird to process. Like, I'm not quite used to it. Like, I get that, yes, Soto's a Met, all of it, but understanding that wherever he goes, it's beyond front page news. Whatever he does is beyond front page news. And no matter what the Mets do the next 15 years, he's our identity. Like Phillies fans who are like, I can't stand Bryce Harper. I don't like Bryce Harper's no good. I never liked him with why. Oh, we can get him for $330 million. Oh, I love Bryce Harper. And now
you hate him until he's your
guy.
Harper
is the Philly. But it's so weird that all of a sudden, bam, overnight, he is your identity. We've heard all the waxing poetic about the Mets today, which is so near and dear to my heart, that now suddenly look how much of a destination the Mets have become. Look at how they beat the Yankees out, all of that. But all of a sudden, that's the weirdest thing for me is to go, bam, he's our identity now, and he's my team's identity for the next 15 years.
Yeah, it's a flip the script, right, as you go, because you had really Pete Alonso, homegrown guy, and now the question of where he ends up. Lindor became that hero, and certainly we lived it in the studio with you each and every night, and all the back pages of the fish wraps celebrating his greatness and everything until that got snuffed out in the playoffs. And now we look at, this signing is just so huge because it was just a couple of years ago. I mean, what were we talking about? 24 months ago, he's turning down a $440 million deal. A week ago, all right, will the bidding get to 6 or 650? And then we go so far north of that, it's not even funny, right? Like, it went up another $100 million.
It's kind of funny, though, Mike.
It is just, I mean, it's play money at this point.
It's kind of funny.
Well, but that's just
Are you kidding? You're just like all Yankee fans. But if he chose the Dodgers, it would be, oh, look at him choose the Dodgers. Look how great it is now. Oh, they chose us. Look how great we are. But everybody's just jealous and upset because he didn't choose you guys. I'm sorry. He chose the Mets. I'm sorry. And upset. No, still can't beat us. Got to do all these things. No, stop.
But this is the rare occasion where there doesn't appear to be an opportunity cost. Like for almost any other team, it's we pick him, and we can't go there, and there. With Cohen, it's what else do we want? Or at least that's my impression of what this guy is. If he sits down with Soto and Boris, like, all right, you're in. It's like assembling the crew for Ocean's 11. We need one more? All right, we'll go get one more. Right? And that's where we're at because this guy will continue to spend. And that's the greatest position to be in. But it's not a reality for how many other teams? 28 other teams in Major League Baseball? Right? The Yankees would have been an opportunity cost, right? You take Soto, you're not going back probably into the marketplace. Even with that franchise's value, even with their history, it seemed like that was going to be a one and done. The Dodgers, certainly, you've seen several contracts that have been very creatively structured. Soto wasn't doing that. It's a Boris guy. He's not doing that.
No, look.
So, you would have to then make your choice, and we'll see what the Dodgers end up doing the rest of this week. Seen a lot of rumors about guys showing up. Louis Robert, and several others. But for the Mets, you've got an owner, and this is where you're got to be, a little peacocking. You got a guy that wants in. And whether this works or not.
Oh, it won't.
And it might not.
Stop. The Mets have turned the page from we're a laughing stock, we're a horribly run organization, we don't have anybody that knows what they're doing. What do I tell you all the time? If you can solidify the top 3 positions of your team, and that's owner, GM, manager, coach, you can sustain success for a long time. He's not going to the Mets if it's the Will Ponds. It's going to be, guys, didn't you get caught with a Ponzi scheme?
Of course he was. He was going to the team that was dumb enough to give him $700
million. As long as that check cleared, he was showing up.
The Yankees were going to give him just about the same amount.
The Yankees were never in play.
No,
they were never in play.
He could have gotten money from a lot of other teams. He could have gone to a lot of other places.
You can't justify paying him more than Aaron Judge, the captain of the team.
Of course they can. It's a different. Of course they can. What was okay?
Really?
So say Steve Cohen backed out.
Another player on the team.
Say Steve Cohen backed out at the end.
Judge, it was never a possibility.
What do you mean? The Yankees were up to $700-something million. You think if Steve Cohen said no and they went back, the Yankees would say, "Oh no, we're out. We don't mean it. We didn't mean it. Sorry, you can't take this money."
Well, it's not binding. So I mean,
sorry.
It's not like it's not like when you place a bid on eBay and it's binding.
No,
or at a big auction house. It's an offer, and you didn't take it.
But this is the part. This is where I really zag on this story for a bit. As excited as I am to get Juan Soto, I would have been fine if the Mets didn't get him, because it's not like Soto doesn't come with risks. And if you're the Yankees or the Blue Jays or the Dodgers or the Red Sox, who was in it for Soto until the end, if you didn't get him, it's okay. You still have that money. You can go out and get a bunch of players and do a lot of things to make your team better. Yes, did you want Juan Soto? Yeah, but you didn't get him. But it's not like this is suddenly a deal that comes for the Mets without any risk, because you have his health situation. How motivated is he going to be? Now, we know he wants to win, but are you really motivated when you're making $70 million a year? How motivated are you to win? These are questions. Is the team going to be good? Are you going to be able to move on and continue to revamp your team and sign who you need when you got one guy who is taking up $70 million of your money, and Major League Baseball's not going to say, oh, let's up the salary cap and the luxury tax. No, they're not going to let Steve Cohen get away with that. No, so it's not like the Soto deal doesn't come without risk. I said it before the Mets got him, and I'm saying it after. It was great they got him. If they got him, I would have been fine. And for the other teams, it's okay. If the Yankees go out and get Pete Alonso and Anthony Santander now for half the money, that's a pretty good consolation prize. If the Red Sox do the same thing, if you can go out and go get Corbin Burns for that money and somebody else, it's okay you didn't get him. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, look, we got him and now we're great. You guys all suck.
Of course you're not, because he's not.
It's really, stop. You wanted him so bad, Frostberg. Just stop.
No. But again, it goes back to, we've talked about it from a business side, because, that has to be considered in this. And you've got the owner where that money doesn't matter. Right? It's just, wait, we're earning what in our businesses? Yeah, go ahead. Pay it off and be done with it, right? There's no opportunity cost. That's the whole point of this. So other teams can go and for $700 whatever million, think about the lineup you assemble.